Hi, in this video we'll look at three things: the image tag in HTML, the form tags, and the semantic tags. So I made another video on HTML which is the basic. If you have not looked at that one, please look at that. I'll put a link in the description. So for this video, let's get started. So first, the image tag. So last time what we did was we created this using this HTML. So this is the HTML code which gives this output, or browser displays it like this. Now we'll start with the image tags. So image tags are needed to display any image on your HTML page or web page. So the image tag starts with img, and then in the source you can add the link or the path to the file. If it's in your local machine, you can give the absolute path, right? And if it's in your from the internet, if you want to, or it's hosted on somewhere, so hosted somewhere else, then you can just take a look from there. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, so just some image, I will copy the image link and I'll put in the source attribute of the image tag. Let's see if this works. Okay, taking some time, right? So but we get the image, right? But the height is very large, the width is large, so we can control with the width attribute. Say I'll put it as 100, right? So I get the width, right? Also, another important attribute of this tag is the alt tag, alt attribute, which means the alternative text if you want to give to the image. So this is needed for search engines, or sometimes when your image is not loaded. So you can say anything, whatever describes the image, so that for people this file does not still know what this is, and the search engines as well. And similar to width, you can also control the height, right? So I can control the height as well, but make sure these height and width, they are in the same ratio as the image, otherwise this will be distorted, right? The image is like this, but now since I artificially controlled it, the height is the aspect ratio is distorted, right? Also you can keep the width or the height as a percentage rather than hard-coded values. So this will help in the responsive nature. So I can say 10% instead of 100, right? So it will take 10% of the page width. You can check this by if you decrease the width of the page, you can see the image size decreases, the width decreases, and if you increase, it increases as well, right? So this is about the image tag. Very nice. In the source you can add the path, and width and height you can control, and also alt tag always add to give the description to the image. Okay, now let's move on to the second one. This is the form tag. Okay, so form tag start with form, very simple, right? And with the form tag, right? So any input that you want to take from the user, this is used, and the label you can give to all the input tags. Say we want to make a small form of, say, taking some user input like name, email, state, etc., right? So every input we can have a label, right? And whatever name we can want to give to the label, right? And corresponding to this we can have the input element. So this for an id, this should be same. So this means this label is for this input. Okay, and type, what is the type of the input you can control, right? That's it. Let's see, always whenever you do some change you should see it, right? So this is the label. When I click on the label, you can see this is focused, and then I can add the value. Similar, we can have email address, right? I'm just giving some example how you can create these input elements in your form, right? And the type will also be email. Okay, let's see what now is there. So you get an email field as well. So this is the label. I click on the label, this is done, right? And similar, there are other elements as well. There can be a drop down, right? For that also we can have a label. So I can maybe say state, right? And the select is select has multiple options, right? So option 1, I can say Delhi, right? And then similar other states as well. That's just for demo, I'm adding some states, right? Say MP, say Maharashtra, right? And also in option you will have to provide the value that you are giving. So you can show something to the user, the option. The value is what the value will be pushed to the server. Remember, the forms are always submitted and that data is sent to the server, right? So here you are just displaying it to the user what you uh, want them to see, and then when you submit, you can submit different values for each, maybe some code or something, right? So here we can see the state, so I can select it, right? This is a simple form. Also you can have a submit button, type equal to submit you can keep, and the button name submit, and then you can close the, right? So you can submit the form as well, and some validations, right? Like you can put that this field is required, this is not required, right? So now if somebody wants to submit the form, it says please fill out this field, so you can put these conditions to make some field mandatory. Also since this is email, say this is filled, right? But this is filled, but this email is not in the right sort of structure, this is not an email pattern, then this says please enter an email address, because this is not, so we know the email address follows a pattern, right? So this also the HTML gives out of the box, right? Also you can provide the action, which is the wherever which URL this has to be submitted. I'm not going over that, how you, what happens when the form is submitted, because that requires a server intervention, which we will study later in this video series. So just right now is how you can make an HTML form. Also the design part I'm not going right now. Okay, this is about the form, and final we'll go over the semantic tags. So semantic tags are tags which gives meaning to our pages, right now we have put all the data, but we have not categorized the data based on anything, right? So simple tags HTML gives us. So one of them can be a header tag, right? So this shows us that this is the header of our page, right? So these tags are needed for search engines to tell the search engine that this is my page and this is how it's structured. Also to the people who cannot see visually, right? And also to the developer, right? So here I'm saying this is my header and this is my main, right? And then main I can divide it into different sections. Say I say this is an article, right? And I can put these two under an article, and then I can divide the two things as two sections, right? So I can say this is a section, and I can just end this, right? And I can start another section here. So what this shows is this is the main article, this is a header, right? This is the main, right? And then I have an article, and these are the two sections of the article. Some meaning, some structure I am given. Of course you are open to define your own structure, there is no such pattern, but the main idea is to give certain elements, certain categorization on the HTML document, so that one people who cannot see are able to uh, because of these sort of tags able to understand what this section means. Also to search engine it's very helpful, and to the coders as well. So yeah, these are the three things: image tag, form tags, and the semantic tags we talked about. Image tags very straightforward, just have to mention the source and the width and the alt. Form you can mention the label and the type of the input. There are of course more input types like checkbox, radio boxes, not gone into that. Radio buttons are there, you can look at that, but this is how you take the input. And then the semantic tags which gives meaning to our page. So yeah, this is it for this video. In the next video we will look at CSS.